Today's sponsor is water in a styrofoam cup. It's delicious, refreshing, and it holds its value for hours, guys. Let me listen to this sip. So probably. Oh god. Styrofoam cups. Terrible for the environment, but great for keeping your water hot or cold. Hello, and welcome to episode 48 of Movies and Us. I am Marcus.
I'm TJ.
And this is the movie review show that reviews genre movies from the beginning sometimes. And today's episode, we'll be talking about the 2006 release. That's right, we're following 2006, May 26, 2006, by the way, which, that's halfway through the year. Wow, it's a long time since the last movie. Anyways, X-Men, The Last Stand, 3 years after the sequel.
X-Men 3, otherwise known as.
Or otherwise known as X3, has multiple names because why not? Like I said, this movie was made in 2006, has a runtime of 104 minutes, which is an hour 44, sorry. The budget was $210 million. It made $460 million worldwide.
I got right? 459.
Where'd you get 459 from?
I got 459, well. I got
sure.
I got 459,359,555.
Yes, $460 million worldwide, making it number 7 in the top 10.
All I'm saying is if you rounded that number, it would round down to 459.
Or you can round up for all I care. I don't give a shit. Anyways, the worldwide box office.
That's not how rounding works.
2006 was made it number 7 worldwide. And just beat out Mission Impossible 3 at $400 million. And lost to Cars. Shockingly, Cars number 6 that year. I remember that being way popular than it was. You know what was number 1 that year, TJ? Do you care what number 1 is?
I'm going to guess it's a pirate movie.
It is a pirate movie. Do you know which one?
Wait, what are we in, 2006? It's got to be the second one then.
Yes, sir. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. That made $1 billion. That's crazy to me. X-Men's the third one to the series. It only made just under half of that. Number 4 on the list, top 4, Casino Royale, only made $600 million. And that's, 20-something in the franchise? The fact that Pirates, number 2, made $1 billion.
Yeah, but it was also, at the time, that was new James Bond at the time, Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
And people didn't know how he was going to do. And plus, the last James Bond, I don't think was well received.
No, that was the Pierce Brosnan one, right?
The last Pierce Brosnan one, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one being really bad. Yeah, I'm just surprised that made $1 billion. I mean, it's cool. I get it's Disney and it's a kids' movie. Kids' movies do well. But I guess the kids' movie after that is Ice Age The Meltdown. What? Ice Age The Meltdown? Why don't you call it Ice Age Meltdown? Anyways, that made $660 million. Well, yeah.
Well, it's a sequel to one of the more popular movies that came out in the last, in that decade?
Yeah, in the 2000s, yeah. No, yeah, I love the Pirates. I love the Pirates franchise, honestly. It is stupid in a lot of areas, but overall, I think it's aesthetically beautiful to watch. Another superhero movie made the top 10, but we're going to get to that in sometime this podcast.
The only other superhero movie that came out this year?
I think this other one is the only other one.
Uh-huh.
What else?
Which actually ties into this movie.
It does, shockingly. Should I just say? I'll say it. At number 9 was Superman Returns. Just under $400 million. It's not a lot of money. Not a lot of money.
All right, get into the credits.
The credits. Okay, so this movie has a plethora of people involved with it. Directed by Brett Ratner. You guys don't know who he is. He directed the Rush Hour series. Enough of that. And written by Simon Kinberg. He had his hand with producing The Martian, but also some superhero movies. Logan in 2017, the 2015 Fantastic Four, which is going to be exciting to watch, and the 2014 X-Men Days of Future Past, so he's been involved with X-Men for a bit, and also written by Zach Penn. He has also had his hand in Ready Player One, The Avengers, The Incredible Hulk in 2008, and X2 X-Men United. What's up?
Simon Kinberg, the guy who wrote it, didn't like the restrictions placed on him.
Yes.
For this, so he went on to direct and write the Dark Phoenix reboot X-Men movie in his vision.
Which that one didn't. I didn't see that. It didn't do too well though, did it? from what I recall.
I haven't seen it, but I heard it was terrible.
I mean, interesting.
But this movie was terrible, so it makes sense that he would write a terrible movie.
I don't think this movie was terrible. I think this...
From a writing standpoint, it was terrible.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And he's the writer, so...
He's one of the writers, so you can't solely blame him.
Well...
Oh, he's the first one listed as probably like the top writer. So yeah, good job, Simon. Good job sitting in your multi-million-dollar home with your multi-thousand-dollar cars. Well, if it's Simon, you think it's better than us. This movie is produced by Lauren Schuller Donner and Ralph Winter, and again, Avi Arad, Robert Dabu. Movie starring so many names.
Oh, that makes sense.
What makes sense?
Apparently, the two writers were working on 2 different drafts at the time.
Yes, yeah.
And so they came together and combined the scripts, which is why this movie feels like 2 different movies.
It feels like 2 different movies for you?
No, it is 2 different movies.
What do you mean?
It's based on 2 different X-Men comics.
Yeah, I know that.
The Dark Phoenix Saga and The Gifted. The first half feels like
Dark Phoenix. I just like see, and you say that, and I forgot that storyline was in here because it's so like, oh yeah, we're doing this with her too, guys.
Yeah, like the first half of the movie was the Dark Phoenix Saga, and then the second half of the movie is the whole Gifted Saga.
Which is weird to like. I'm cool with combining multiple series, but to do such a big ones that are so like not easy to mesh.
This one really felt like it was 2 different movies smushed together.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it has some similarities, I guess, but like, yeah, the Dark Phoenix shit should have been its own thing.
Which is why I think that Kimber guy went on to do his own, because, you know.
No, I get it. I totally get it. Why do it, though, if you know you're going to, whatever. Anyways, movie starring Hugh Jackman, returning, let's say, these people are returning. Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry, Ian McKellen.
Come on, you can do it.
TJ. Famke Janssen.
I think it's Famke Janssen.
I haven't seen Janssen.
I'm not sure about the first one, though.
She plays Jean Grey, okay, guys? Stop making fun of me. You have Anna Paquin, Kelsey Grammer, James Marsden. Oh, Kelsey Grammer is returned. He's new as the Beast. I guess he's new, I guess, yeah. James Marsden for a few scenes.
I want to point out Kelsey Grammer, still excellent casting in this movie.
Oh,
in these movies.
Hands down. He's a great actor. He performed great.
These movies had almost perfect casting.
Almost perfect.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, there's some... Like, Colossus is a little weird, since he doesn't really do anything and talk, and, you know, they just... And, like, some of the side characters don't look right, but, you know...
Yeah, the main characters, though.
Oh, they got all the main characters right, yes.
Rebecca Ramjian, Mystique, Sean Ashmore, Aaron Stanford, Vinnie Jones, and Patrick Stewart, also starring... I'm not gonna do any names, too many people. Look at the credits, guys.
Well, there's some big names in the other ones that you're not going to talk about.
Elliot Page.
Yeah.
Vinnie Jones. Who else you want to talk about?
Daniel Cudmore.
Who's that?
It's Colossus.
Oh, yeah, sure, that dude.
Ben Foster, who was Angel.
Yep.
These are all in the movie as big parts. You can't just, you know...
Sure, you give more effort to it.
Michael Murphy, Denaya Ramirez, that one...
Showray. She plays Dr. Kavika Rao.
Showray Aghdashloo.
She's in a few things. She was in 24.
Yeah, I know.
And The Expanse. She was in The Expanse. Star Trek Beyond. That's where I know her from. House of Sand and Fog.
Also starring
Afterlife. Nice.
Also starring Yosef Summer, Bill Duke, Eric Dane, and a slew of just cameo characters.
A slew. The biggest one I wish they would have brought back, but I know why they didn't, was Nightcrawler.
Yeah, well, they didn't want to pay the money for the makeup effects for like 2 seconds.
I get it, but come on, it's Nightcrawler. He could have saved so much and done so much. My favorite character, so I like him. Anyways, that's the starring. Let's talk about some behind-the-scenes stuff. What do you want to bring up?
Some of the behind-the-scenes stuff I want to talk about when we get to those scenes in the movie.
Okay.
But, like you said, Bryan Singer, who did the first 2, actually did not return for this one because he went and did Superman Returns.
Which is not a smart move on his part. But probably was. He probably got paid hella money for that, thinking about it.
Yeah, probably. He probably got paid a lot of money, but I think this movie hurt without him.
It did. I think if he would have done this, we could have had 2 great superhero movies coming out that year. But it's that we had 2 mediocre ones.
Yeah, well, I would say they're both below mediocre, but
They're okay. I think they're okay. Well, this one is okay. I don't remember Superman Returns.
again, you're just
That has Kevin Spacey in it too. Wow. And Bryan Singer.
You're just holding this one up because of the casting and because of the visual effects.
We'll talk about it. I guess we'll get to it in the review, but yes and no.
Because the story is shit.
You're out the gates hating on this movie already.
Because it was shit.
It was okay.
No, it really, really wasn't okay.
Yes, it really, really was okay.
They did a disservice to so many characters.
Well, prove me wrong. I will totally agree on that one.
So many characters.
I think Storm was terribly weak in this movie. I was like, this is really upsetting seeing Storm.
And they expanded her character.
I know.
Apparently.
I know. And whatever, we'll get to it. So close to having something. Anyways,
they didn't even get the main storyline parts right at all.
You want to jump into the review, TJ? Do you want to
No, we're not there yet.
Okay, what else you got to talk about?
So as we talked about, Bryan Singer didn't return, so he did that. He does come back for Days of Future Past, I think.
Oh, yes, he does. The retcon most of the shit that happens in the next few movies, yes.
And then there was another director that they had before, what's the guy that directed this one?
Brett
Ratner. There was another guy who was supposed to do it, but he left because he also had other...
Yeah, I saw the name. I forget what it was. Matthew Vaughn?
Maybe. No. Whoever he is. Yeah, no, you're right. Something Vaughn, anyway. He actually went on to do X-Men First Class.
Yes, Matt Vaughn. Yeah.
And then a bunch of directors turned down doing this.
Mm-hmm. A lot of actors like usual.
But what I found interesting is they approached all these actors that were doing other movies at the time.
I know.
It's like, why do you keep approaching people that... Like, they wanted to get Joss Whedon, which it's probably a good thing that they didn't consider all the controversy that he's been having recently.
At the time, people didn't know.
Yeah, I know, but you know.
Yeah, no, I agree. But like,
this would have been another thing. But like, they wanted to turn him in it, but apparently he was working on a Wonder Woman film that never came to fruition.
Zack Snyder was doing 300. Like, a lot of people were just busy doing shit. And like, hey, can you jump on this real quick?
Guillermo del Toro was doing Pan's Labyrinth at the time. It's like, dude, why don't you guys go? They even approached Zack. You said Zack Snyder. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're good.
But yeah, it's like, why do you guys keep going after actors that are busy? Go find someone that's not doing something at this moment.
Well, I guess because they want the big names that will draw people in. Like, oh, directed by so-and-so and starring so-and-so and so-and-so. Instead of finding good talent who's not unknown but like ready to be discovered, I guess. They want to take that risk. They
also approached a couple of other guys who didn't want to do it because they had problem with the president of Fox.
Who was the president of Fox at the time?
Thomas Rothman. It's Rob Bowen and Alex Proyas was a rumor for consideration, but apparently they had problems with the president over producing iRobot.
Movie sucks.
So
that movie's okay.
You know, I don't know. That's pretty much all I really want to talk about behind the scenes there. There's another behind the scenes thing that I want to get into, but it comes up in the movie, so...
Yeah, I guess. Anything else we'll talk before we continue?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that the universe number for this is 10,005.
I guess it's the same as the other two?
Yeah.
But dude, we've only done 2 of these so far, huh? Of the X-Men ones.
Well, this is number 3.
But there was no spin-offs, were there?
No, spin-offs don't start until after this.
Yeah. That's another thing that's so weird to me. They were doing this while filming or prepping X-Men Origins Wolverine. So they limited the cameos for his character development, which makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This felt like a wrap-up to the thing, so the whole spin-off thing doesn't make sense to me.
Well, that one's a prequel, so it kinda makes sense. But yeah, I agree.
I guess.
If you're gonna end it proper. Okay, so enough of that. So, we open.
We don't open with that. We really open with an Ice Age Meltdown preview.
Oh, you watched the DVD. I watched it on streaming. Okay.
I got trailers.
There we go. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. You spoke about Ice Age Meltdown earlier, but I actually got a trailer for it, so...
Nice. So?
It was, the stupid acorn.
Yeah! Wow, the rat squirrel thing drops it into the ice and it just cracks off a big chunk of ice, right?
Yeah, that's all that was.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Then I got a trailer for Behind Enemy Lines 2, Axis of Evil.
There's a second one. I knew there was a second one. How's that one look?
A shitty action movie.
I mean, the first one was a shitty action. No, the first one's good, actually. You ever see the first one?
I don't think I did. I know the name, though.
It stars Owen Wilson.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I know the name. I don't think I've ever seen it, though.
It's not bad. It's kind of worth the watch. Probably didn't age well.
I also got a bunch of DVD releases for Daredevil, Elektra, Fantastic Four, and 24 Season 5. Probably because what's-her-face was in this.
The lady we were talking, that
Yeah.
impossible name.
Actually, yeah, I don't know if she was in that season or not. Anyway, 24 is a decent show.
Never saw it. But yeah, you guys want to hear reviews on those other movies, just go back and click on the reviews. They're great, I promise.
On the superhero ones, anyway.
Yeah, we're not doing 24.
Or, Behind Enemy Lines 2.
We might do Ice Age Meltdown, who knows?
No, I don't think we will. I also got a sneak peek at the Simpsons movie.
Wow, that hasn't come out yet in this series. That's weird. I feel old, man.
And I got a trailer for Night at the Museum.
What? Oh man, that's another bad movie.
And I also got a trailer for Thank You for Smoking.
Oh, the one starring Two-Face. It's a good movie.
I actually never saw it. I heard it's a good movie though.
We should probably, now I saw it, I'm gonna put it on for our picks.
Oh yeah. That is all the trailers that I got.
Okay. So we begin with the X-Men Marvel panels. I kind of like these stylized personal intros.
Yeah, I mean, it was before the whole cinematic universe thing, so...
Yeah, it's just always been nice to see the panels, I guess. Anyway, we start 20 years earlier. This was released 2006, I guess 1986 this is supposed to take place. And we see Professor X and Magneto both young and walking.
The digital effects here wasn't great.
I think it's pretty good, honestly.
I could tell it was fake, and when I could tell it's bad, it's bad.
And it's definitely it's fake because it's not what they look like. But I think for the time it happened, it looks pretty damn passable. Also, I also want to point out they've sent out visual effects that need to be done to 11 different studios to meet the release date of the movie.
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy.
Fox really pushed them really hard in this one. That's why it suffered as bad as it did.
Exactly. Studio interference, man. You gotta love it. But yeah, I think the digital effects aren't that bad on the faces. It's like it's noticeable, but not like, to me, not distracting. Like, ugh.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So anyways, we have Magneto and Charles talking to Jean Grey's parents, trying to recruit her to the academy. Well, Charles is at least. What's his face? Magneto's kind of like, nah, I want her to be more free and open. Spoilers for the future of the movie. Anyways, Jean Grey comes down. They talk to her. They read her minds, and she shows her powers. Like, look what I can do.
I don't know. I got this that this little girl was like had an attitude problem or something.
Yeah. She was definitely like, I don't need you guys. You need me, kind of thing. She doesn't say that, but that's what it seems like. And it's like we kind of get the glimpse of the Phoenix in her already, and how powerful it is.
And this is my big problem with this movie.
Why?
The whole Phoenix thing is stupid.
Well, hold on. We get Stanley cameo to him right now. Okay, continue. Why is it stupid?
Because it makes Jean Grey out to be like a psychopath with two different personalities.
Well, hold on real quick. What is the Phoenix?
I
don't know shit about it in this series, so
it's an alien entity that takes over her body.
So she's not born with it?
No, they went to space because it's X-Men, and that's what you do in comic books. You go to space. And she was exposed to some kind of gas thing or something, and the Phoenix, it's an alien entity that takes over her body. It's like a world destroyer.
Oh, that's it?
Well, yeah. I mean, it turns her evil. And she goes to a separate planet and stuff, and Supernova's son or something, because she wasn't as strong as she thought it was, and she destroyed an entire planet committing genocide.
Well, shit. See, I thought it was just, I've only known from this movie, so that's what I thought it was.
No, it's an alien entity that takes her over. It's not within her.
Okay. So now going to this movie, why don't you like it? Why do you think it's stupid?
Because it makes Jean Grey into a psychopath.
It does, but I like that.
No.
I like it. Hold on. You're saying, I think it's another part of her. Like, it's an unlocked, uncontrolled part of her. So I like that.
And also, not only does it turn her into a psychopath, but it also turns Xavier into an abusive asshole.
Yeah.
So it just destroys both characters.
I can see that. I understand why he does it, because he's like, I want to help you, but
he
I can't.
forcibly does this to this little girl.
Yeah.
What is she, 8 in this?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
It's against her will, from at least what we got from, their conversations.
Yeah.
So it's just messed up in a lot of ways, and it's unnecessarily when it's not actually what happened. It doesn't even really fit the tone of the previous 2 movies.
What's that tone of the previous 2 movies, though?
It just kind of destroys the characters from the previous 2 movies. Professor Xavier, we learned from the last 2 movies, would never do this.
Oh, okay, that character. Yeah.
So even within their own continuity, they mess up their own characters.
Okay, that's valid points. I have nothing to refute that, because you're not wrong.
And it's crap. Because, spoiler for later in the thing, we get all this Dark Phoenix stuff, and then she does nothing for the rest of the movie. Like, when we get to the climax of the movie, she does nothing.
Yeah, no, that's my biggest... The character flaws, yeah, I'll agree with.
So not only did they destroy the characters, they didn't even utilize the character they created.
Yeah, because they open up with her, so you think it's going to be the whole main plot. She's not. She's just a MacGuffin for most of it, and isn't used properly or effectively. So that's fair. That's the one I really noticed that which reasons to me. I guess the character development, you're right, that how it just counteracts who they are over the past 2 movies. More so, I feel it does more harm to Charles. Because like you said, it does make him seem like he's sort of trolling.
We'll get to the scenes where it breaks Jean, too.
Yeah?
We're not there yet.
Okay.
We didn't even start yet.
No, we didn't.
This is just the overall view of the Phoenix thing that I did not like.
Okay, so after that, we cut to 10 years later, and we get Angel cutting his wings off, because as a kid, I guess he's...
This is the roughest scene in the movie.
8 or 9, yeah, it's sad. He's just becoming a mutant, I guess. He's just growing his wings out. He's not liking it, so he's cutting him off to please his father. And his father walks in on him, and...
yeah, because his father, I guess, doesn't like mutants.
Yeah, anti-mutant, I guess. And
he's not an actual character from the comics.
The father? Does he have a father in the comics?
Well, everyone has a father.
I'm saying...
I don't think it's a prevalent character.
Angel's sad. His father comes in to hug him like, we'll fix you, son, don't worry. Which kickstarts to open the credits, and the credits are covered with cure vaccines and trying to suppress the mutant gene.
I wanted to point out something.
What's up?
So I watched a DVD version of this, because I have like the 3 X-Men box set or something like that.
Yeah.
And for some reason, when the DVD menu comes up, it asks me to choose, the X-Men or the Brotherhood.
Why is that a thing? Okay.
I don't know. And it doesn't matter what you choose, because it's just a palette swap.
Really?
It's not even different special features or nothing.
That's stupid.
It was really stupid. I was like, I went through both versions just to see, okay, maybe there's like a different special feature focusing on the Brotherhood on this side or something.
That's just a gimmick.
No, if you're gonna put the gimmick in, at least utilize it.
Yeah, another thing wrong with the movies. That's great.
I mean, that's Fox and the distribution stuff, but whatever. Go ahead, you may continue now.
Anyway, so yeah, the father wants to cure his son and all mutants. And yeah, opening credits. So after opening credits, we cut to an action scene of the team working together. The team including Storm, Wolverine, Kitty Pryde, Colossus. Is that it?
This is
Bobby, I think.
It's Freeze. This is Days of Future Past.
Yeah, because they tease a Sentinel, and we all know where the Sentinels come from. The world's on fire, destruction, life, mayhem. Wolverine's just walking through it because he doesn't give a f*** while everyone's kind of taking it serious.
Yeah,
and guess what, guys? It's the Danger Room.
This part annoyed me because I want that movie instead.
Yeah, no, movies do that a lot. Hey, you see this cool scene? Nah, you're not going to get this in your movie.
I'd rather have that movie. Why are we getting this shitty movie that we're watching?
Right? Why tease us something you could obviously do really well? But no, you're not going to give us that. Cool, thanks.
And it's not like they didn't have the budget, because apparently this was the most expensive movie of up until that point.
Yeah, and the action's really done well too. It's visually I can see what's going on. It's intriguing. But yeah, we don't get that. It's a Danger Room workout. It's Wolverine has to take it serious.
Well, I mean, I guess we're lucky we got the Danger Room in this one.
Yeah.
Because we've been at the last 2 X-Men movies, we've read in each one. They wanted to put the Danger Room in, but they couldn't afford it.
See, I just think live action sucks because of money. At least with animated shit, they can do whatever they want, kind of. I hate that sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, in this we get Colossus throws Wolverine at the second Sentinel. Wolverine kills Sentinel. That's the end of that. I'm saying that because I'm late in the movie. Storm's not happy.
It's
What?
You're about the other. It's like he's not being a part of the team. And
Yeah.
Storm wants to be part of the
Storm's
team,
not happy because he's everything you just said, but. He's not. He's a character because he's substituting for Scott. Because Scott is mopey and sad because Jean Grey's dead. All his girlfriend's gone. Oh, geez, so sad. Anyways, I'm sorry. And we also get Bobby and Rogue not happy together because Bobby can hug Kitty Pryde.
The Bobby Rogue Kitty Pryde subplot was stupid too.
I don't think that was. It was. It's weak. It's stupid. It's pointless.
It's another misunderstanding love triangle bullcrap thing, and it's all there to diminish, and it diminishes Rogue's choice in the end.
Choice in this movie?
Yeah, her choice to get the cure.
How's it diminish her choice?
Because it's all based on jealousy over a boy it's not over a romance. It's not happening.
No, I get that, but she does have a valid point why she wants the cure, though.
Yeah, well, exactly. There is a good point, but her drive is because she keeps seeing Bobby, who is actually a jerk in this.
Yeah,
visibly flirting with this other girl in front of his girlfriend. Yeah. That was what pushed her to want the cure because she can't touch Bobby because she's jealous.
So what's wrong with that, though?
Because she's practically doing it for the boy.
Yeah,
and not for herself. And they throw in a Logan line here to make it better, but it's not.
No, she's definitely doing it for the boy, but I think she more so is doing it for herself too, because she knows, like.
But they didn't display that. They said, they want the whole jealousy angle here.
Yeah, but it's still effective though. It works.
They should have displayed their relationship being a little bit more in trouble, and her really wanting to go further in the next stage and not being able to. Then the cure comes up, and then she talks it out with him. She's like, I really want to do this.
No, I agree with that. There's a lot of things that could have, instead of this movie being an hour 40, it could have easily been a 3-hour movie that would have flushed some shit out, which they don't do for reasons.
And that's another problem with this movie. And I hate to say this, but this movie is too short for the things they're trying to cover.
Yes, and that's us saying that. We hate long movies, but the way this movie, it does, hey, this is going to be something, kind of, but not really. And then this happens, and this happens.
Or
two-parter.
They cut out one of the storylines they're focusing on.
Yep.
They focus on either one or the other, and you can flesh out either side because you have a whole movie to do it and not half a movie.
Exactly. And both stories are so strong, I feel. Like they could have easily made their own movie, a strong, good movie. But both of them together make a weak movie. So
the Dark Phoenix saga is one of the greatest storylines in comics.
Exactly. Apparently. I don't know. I believe you.
And the Gifted one, just the allegory, well, not allegory, what's the word I'm looking for? The tension and I can't find the words. I don't
know, trying to explain.
The whole cure thing, that whole storyline with both sides struggling and stuff like that, just the whole topic in general.
Yeah, exactly. We're living that right now, honestly.
Well, that's what I mean. Not allegory, but, the metaphor. What am I looking for?
I don't want to say symbolism. It's not that.
The comparison to that to say something of coming out and being gay, or
anything like that,
or being. God, I can't think of the words.
Trans?
God damn it.
Non-binary?
Trans, sure, but also, being looked down upon because of your race and stuff like that. But, because the mutanism has always been kind of like an allegory for racism and stuff like that, and everything. They're a minority, essentially. And so there's plenty of time that could be its own movie by itself. And two movies put together really hurts both stories.
It really does. It really, really does.
Anyway, rant over.
Very good. I still think the Bobby her thing is fine. I don't love it. I do not love it. But I think it's a fine enough. For the movie, it's fine enough.
It's pointless in a movie that's already too busy. It's just there. It's just there to get Rogue to make her choice. And she's not in the movie enough for it to have an impact.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I'm just defending the fact that he's the reason she's pushed her that way. I guess she's pushed that way. But I do agree with you. It's not. We don't get enough of this to make it justified to have it in this movie.
Yeah,
I do agree with that. But then again, it's most storylines in this movie. Yeah, that's the movie in general. It's not enough. It just felt like this plot line just felt so superfluous compared to the other ones. I'll give you that. But I guess they wanted to make one of them mutants in the X Mansion and deal with this. And I guess
Yeah,
she's the
but
most.
it didn't feel important or grand or like a big gesture. Maybe they're on their way to Alcatraz or something, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, Rogue, let's go. And she's like, I can't do this anymore. And then she goes,
trust me, there's a lot. We could easily take this movie and rewrite it and have both the storylines in it. Because just later on, when like Magneto is attacked, well, he attacks the caravan, and then they shoot the weaponized cure at him. He can use that as propaganda against why the cure is bad. They weaponized it. Why is that?
They even talk about it.
I know. So like that should motivate a lot of the mutants to be like, no, you guys, we're gonna be mutants now.
But they don't show any of that.
I know. So like that, this movie could have been easily fleshed out more. Okay, sorry. Anyways, Scott is going to say, I'm going to go to the lake and see my dead girlfriend's watery grave. And Wolverine's like, don't do that, bro. I don't remember.
He actually has a really good line here, though.
What is it? I don't remember.
Cyclops. He's like, Wolverine tells Cyclops, I think we just both need to move on. And then he replies, like, we don't heal as fast as you will do, Logan.
Oh yeah.
That's a really good line.
Honestly, this movie has a lot of good lines in it.
Like I said, the casting is good, and some of the character development in it, not character development, the character portrayals, I should say, are really good because they were already built on a foundation of a good thing.
Yeah. No, I think there's a lot of good in this movie, but there's a lot of bad. Anyway, we cut to Department of Mutant, was it? Department of Mutant. I'm reading it right
Relations? Now. Mutant Relations?
Maybe. Department of Mutants, spanning down, Affairs. And we get to meet Hank McCoy, aka Beast. And I wrote down my thing, good acting and awesome. He's meeting
Kelsey Grammer is like perfect for this role.
Which is shocking, who would have thought, right? Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, no.
They caught Mystique. And she's captured and they're trying to interrogate her, like, where is Magneto? She's like, F you, that's not my name. That's my
And that's another thing. That would have been a good scene to see, seeing her be caught.
Yeah. A lot of things would be great to see.
Like, I mean, she got the shaft in this movie too. She's in like 4 scenes.
A lot of people got the shaft in this movie.
Yeah, I know.
And she has a great scene right here. Her interrogation where she just kicks everyone's ass in this scene. That's all we see her doing this whole movie. And it's sad.
Pretty much.
And she's so good in this. After this, they find out that she stole something from the FDA. It's a kid called the Leech. He doesn't take your powers like Rogue does. He neutralizes your powers. So you don't have powers.
Yeah. This is a change too. It's not a bad change, but the Leech is never utilized in the comics as a cure. It was like the whole Gifted storyline was doctors just found a cure for what is it? The cure for
Mutism?
The mutant gene.
Yeah.
The mutant gene. But that's Leech's powers is, draining him. So, I mean, it doesn't hurt the story to have him in this way. But he's usually depicted as, like, reptilian.
Yeah.
He's got, like, green skin and stuff, so...
I guess they didn't want to put a kid in that kind of makeup, I guess. So I don't think we've seen a kid in makeup in this movie, have we?
Not really. I mean, like I said, it doesn't affect the story at all. It is what it is.
No, it's just a minor change.
But just another reason to get another character in there, I guess.
Yeah. God, I wish I had powers. So then we cut to Professor X teaching. He's talking about
Hold on. What was the last scene?
Bleach. Beast at the meeting with the president, talking about the FDA.
But we're not at the escape yet?
Of Mystique's escape?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, good.
So then we cut to Professor X teaching and talk about like transferring. Okay, what's this? Transfer consciousness of a mind from a man to a man and shit like that. Like it's ethical, blah blah blah. Talk about like how conscious is and like
is
Professor X. It's talking about what?
Oh, he's teaching it.
Yeah. The ethical.
I think I might have tuned that part out.
It's because it's not important until the end credit scene. That's when it becomes important.
It's a setup for a cliffhanger that never comes to fruition.
Exactly. I remember seeing this at theaters, like, oh, that's cool, kind of. But yeah, he's just saying, is it ethical to do something like transfer consciousness to someone else? That's it. And he's interrupted because Storm is moody. And he goes to meet Storm on the rooftop. And they're talking about nothing important, I don't think. What's the minute said?
She's distracted about something. I don't know.
She's upset that they're all still in hiding as mutants, even though they got mutant Hank McCoy in the presidential area, shit like that. She wants more for the mutants. She wants to be like open and out, be proud of yourselves and all that shit. And Professor X alludes to her like, one day you might leave up school, so calm down, bitch. You're great. Don't worry. I don't like Storm's look in this movie. Her haircut. I do not like Halle Berry in this movie. I feel she's very not Storm-esque, if that makes sense.
I mean, I don't care about her look. Whatever. She cut her hair. Big deal.
I don't like that. I just hated it so much. But yeah, mostly, and that's just, like I said, that's the small hate. I don't like her in this movie, or the character.
My problem with Storm in this thing is she's like later on, find out that the cure is gonna have the cure. They have the cure, and Rogue comes in and is like, "Is it true?" And she's like, "There's nothing wrong with being mutant. You can control the weather. She can't touch anybody."
Exactly.
Shut up.
Exactly. And I feel her character normally would be more like
understanding
supportive.
Of that.
Yeah, like she's a mother. I understand, baby, why you want to do this kind of shit.
I get why she's saying it. Like, we don't need to be cured. We're not illness. But some people are.
Exactly.
Some people are blue beast monsters who can't live a normal life because they are. Sometimes the mutant gene is more of a curse than it is a privilege,
Sadly, yeah.
So it's everything's so black and white in this movie.
That's why I don't like these movies in general, because they are so black and white sometimes. I feel they rarely go on the gray area.
Yeah, and the X-Men need to be a lot more gray.
Yes, especially for what they're tackling.
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's right or wrong. They think like, not really, but it kind of is, but not really. Anyway, so Hank meets with them. He talks about the cure. He talks about the Staten Island facility of the cure and Angel's dad. Why is that in my notes like that? Oh yes, he's at the Hank McCoy visits the X Mansion, brings up the cure. They all see that on the news, and like you said, Jean Grey's like, I want to get out of here.
No, Rogue.
I'm sorry, yeah, Rogue. Jean Grey's dead. Rogue was like, yeah, I want the cure, and like everything you just said just happens.
I didn't realize we were that close to it.
Neither did I. If I would not have said all that shit again. So yeah, then we cut to the Brotherhood. Not the Brotherhood. We cut to like a meeting of bum mutants, I guess. And they're all
they're lower class mutants, and they're all meeting in an abandoned church for some reason. Is this the same church from the second movie where Nightcrawler is? Are you just reusing sets?
That's what it looks like. It's not as gothic as that, but it's damn near close. And yeah, they're all
because I get the feeling that the house that Jean Grey's house was the same one as Bobby's house. Because they look alike. It looks like the same cul-de-sac and everything.
That's another thing about these movies. Like, it all feels the same. Like, most of the characters that in the background look like the same as each other. It just feels copy-paste.
A little bit, yeah.
That's funny you said that. So yeah, these mutants are meeting at church, talk about like why they're anti and kind of pro the vaccine and shit like that. And then Magneto breaks his bust on and it's like, nah, guys, I'm the Brotherhood. The cure's bad. Be with us. My kind of rebellious shit. He makes valid points though. Like, I get it. Oh, we've learned that in this movie there's level tier of mutants, like level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shit. Or I'm sorry, class 3 mutants, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty badass. I guess it's always been a comic thing, right?
I don't know. I actually don't know that one.
Okay. Do you know the characters we meet? Like, do they have names in the comics at all?
Oh, yeah, they're all characters.
One's like a Banshee. I don't want to say it's Banshee, but it's like Banshee, I guess.
What are they? I think one's Psylocke.
Is that the one that claps her hands?
Yes. Hold on. Yeah, one the guy, the porcupine kid.
Yeah.
He's a character called Kid Omega.
Kid Omega. I've heard that name.
I don't know much about them, but then there's the other one's called Archlight, I think.
That's the one that claps her hand and makes that shit.
Arclight, yeah, and then the main girl, the fast one, I think it's supposed to be Psylocke. Even though I don't think Psylocke was a speedster, but whatever.
That's Storm's nemesis in this movie, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Because why not fight girl on girl? So anyways, to get to Mystique being transported from one place to another. She's in a big truck with other mutants who are also locked up. She's transforming around, teasing guards. And then we go back to McCoy. He visits Leech, and he sees Leech's powers in person for the first time. And he sees his hand turns humanoid. He's like, oh, I am a white man. I remember. I'm kidding. It's like, I used to be human and normal. And then we cut to Scott visiting Jean Grey's watery grave. He starts hearing her voice echo throughout his mind. He goes crazy and like takes his...
before you continue.
Yep.
The 3 that we were talking about are called the Omegas.
Okay.
Apparently, and their names are Arclight, like I said, Quill, Otherwise, his name King. He's supposed to be Quill in the comics, but he was given the name Kid Omega.
Oh.
So yeah, it's Quill in that, and then she is Psylocke, which I thought was weird because her powers don't seem to match from what I can find. So Psylocke, it was Psylocke, that character,
The main one,
the speedster, but Psylocke doesn't have speed. She's got like telekinesis and stuff like that.
why give her that? Oh, whatever. I didn't make the movie.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, she's got telepathic powers. She's like got empathy powers and precognition and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. So yeah, all that happens. Scott visits Jean Grey's lake. I forget the title of the lake, so called Jean Grey's lake.
Arklay.
What?
I think it's Arklay Lake.
Yeah, that word.
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Arklay.
Arklay or Accolade Lake, something like that. Some scientific.
Accolade Lake actually sounds closer.
Yeah, something like that. They'll correct us in the comments. I don't care enough. He visits the lake. He hears her Jean Grey's voice. He freaks out. He blasts the water. And in my mind theory, that awakens Jean Grey proper, and she hovers out the water. And it's a big scene. He kisses her. She sucks his life energy out. And we cut from that. We don't know what happens to him.
And he dies off screen. Let's just spoil it right now.
Yeah.
And there's no way that this would happen.
What do you mean that would happen? What do you mean?
No, there's no way Jean Grey kills Scott Summers. Not in a million years.
Jean Grey doesn't, but maybe Phoenix does?
No, Dark Phoenix doesn't do it either. There's no way. The Dark Phoenix doesn't turn people to dust, first of all.
What does it do? It just kills planets by what?
I actually don't remember off the top of my head.
And then why wouldn't she kill him? Because it's true love, and they've always loved each other since whatever.
There's no reason why they would do it. Yeah, there's those two have been in a relationship for so long that there is no way that wouldn't come through. It's a comic book. No way it doesn't happen.
No, I agree. I think realistically, if Wolverine wasn't such a main character, they would have killed him off instead. Either way.
I don't think that's true too. I don't think anybody should have been killed off. Not like this.
I don't agree they should have been killed off.
Not by Jean Grey at the very least.
So you're saying she's not a killer at all?
Well, no, I'm not saying that. She's killed a lot of, but
see, that's
she's the one that usually dies. To be honest with you.
And I agree with that. But I think in this movie, this suits her. Okay, she's a crazy. This thing is controlling her. She's not crazy. The thing in her is making her beyond.
That's the thing. That it is her because she is the Dark Phoenix in this.
Yes and no.
She's a psychopath in this, and it doesn't make sense.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't think she is. I think the thing in her is.
There is no thing in her. It's her. It's her cut off consciousness that Professor Xavier had suppressed.
But is it really her then?
Yes, this is her in this movie. She killed Scott Summers, which is bullshit. Now, if she was taken over by an alien entity, it would have been by her. But Jean Grey, as the Dark Phoenix, as part of her, will not kill Scott Summers.
Will not. Why not? Because you don't want it to?
It's just fact. It would not happen. It goes against the character. Jean Grey is not that weak of a character that she would succumb to that.
As written, you're right. If they would have had this trickle out throughout the series, I think you would have been wrong. But as written and as it is portrayed, you're right.
Well, no, if they were leading up to it, that would have been a different thing.
Yes, but they didn't, so I can't have that argument. You're right. You're valid. You're right.
And then there's the fact that Cyclops got shafted as shit in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Understandably, James Marsden was going to do Superman Returns.
Yes.
So he wasn't gonna. He had to shoot a role. That's fine. But he does nothing in this movie but mope and die.
Yep.
Could have given him an action scene, have him at least try to fight back a little bit.
Yeah,
or something.
he could have died in action. You're right. He could have been on a mission for all I cared.
But you didn't even need to kill Cyclops off. Period. Because the way they ended this, it felt like they were going to do another one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
You don't want Cyclops in another movie?
I guess not. I guess there was pettiness behind the scenes of him leaving to follow Bryan Singer. And they said, you know what? Yeah, we're going to kill your character off then.
Well, it was Fox that did it, not...
Yeah. Well,
but Fox also decided to kill off...
Charles Xavier?
Xavier, too, which is another stupid thing. At least that one's a little more understandable, but it's still a stupid move.
Yeah.
But Professor Xavier dies 1,000 times in these movies, too.
But see, I like that they kill people.
My problem isn't that they kill them off.
Yeah.
My problem is...
How?
It's not even how. It's just... Yes, because they felt like doing it. There is no story reason for any of it. It just happens. They're like, we need to kill off 3 characters in this movie to make this dark and gritty or whatever. That's my problem with it. There's no story
who else
leading
dies in
up
this
to
movie?
it. Frickin' Jean dies.
She died in the last one, doesn't count. So I think those 2 dying.
She technically didn't die in the last one.
Whatever. You're right.
They tell you that she was in a psychic cocoon or some bullshit.
Yeah. I think Scott and Charles dying in this, I do not agree with, but in the story of this movie, somewhat makes sense. It could have been executed better, yes, but I think in this movie and how they're setting up the Dark Phoenix, they didn't do Dark Phoenix properly. They're doing Dark Phoenix X-Men Last Stands wise. It makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Why?
Because it just hurts the movie. That whole last stand, the thing they're doing at the end, don't you think it would have been better if they had like 4 or 5 extra people instead of 6 people and 3 of them were kids?
I agree. The whole last stand when I was a kid, like that was cool, but like it's stupid. Like they're just running at each other, throwing each other. It's dumb. It's really dumb. But again, in the movie, this, like, I don't know. I don't agree with it, but I get it. I guess that's the thing. I get, like, she kills him because she's crazy and controlled.
You're getting it doesn't make it good or right.
I'm not saying it's good, but I understand that it makes sense in this world. In the world they just made.
No, it doesn't.
It does make sense. Because you know why? I'll give you this. Because I don't think her love for Scott was that strong. Yeah, she likes Scott a lot. She loves him, whatever. But in the past 2 movies, she has an inkling of likeness and love for Wolverine.
But that was in the comics, too.
Well, see, like, so her killing him.
She wouldn't kill Logan either.
She didn't kill him. She tried killing him, but she tried
killing him. But if he wasn't super healing factors and he wasn't protected by plot armor because he's Hugh Jackman,
exactly.
But
he would have died. I believe she would have killed him if he wasn't plot armor.
Exactly, and that would have been bullshit too.
I personally don't have any problem with her killing these people off. I don't like it. I'm not holding it against the film. I understand why you have. Yeah, I get it. You're totally right. You're valid. Like, I don't think you're wrong at all. You're totally right. But what the movie gave me, what this movie gave me, and I know it's not the comic book.
I take back the disintegration thing because apparently Phoenix does have disintegration waves.
That's pretty cool. I'm glad they did that. It's pretty.
It can consume and remove a near infinite amount of molecules per second.
That's crazy. So yeah, she should have been able to kill Wolverine, in my opinion. He would have came back somehow eventually, but.
Well, listen to this bullshit.
What is this bullshit I gotta listen to?
She also has this power called Resurrection Force. It can resurrect anyone it wishes with its near infinite power.
Yeah, sounds like a comic book plot thing to me. So,
the moment she got any inkling that she was Jean Grey, she would have brought Scott back.
If she had memory of her doing it, yes. If she was just blocked, she does know she did it. So yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, killed Scott, bring him back. Yeah. I agree. But don't you think that would have been stupid as too? Like, why kill him off or bring him back in the last second?
Yeah, I agree with you. The whole freaking thing's stupid, but it would have made sense for her character.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For that character. Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. I don't think. See, if I was writing these movies, I don't think I would tackle the Phoenix thing because I feel it's so hard to portray properly.
Well, you can tackle the Phoenix thing, but you need to focus only on the Phoenix thing.
And I agree with that. It would have to be multiple movies. I don't think, as a writer, I would want to do that. I mean, granted, I haven't read the series, so I don't know how much like this I would like it, make that to screen. I don't know. But again, going back to this movie, I think as dumb as it is to kill these characters off, and as much as I don't like it, I get it in the movie.
But that's like saying I get, why Halle Berry's being like this in a Catwoman, or why Batman and Robin are fighting Mr. Freeze while he's doing comic puns in this movie.
Yes and no.
Yeah, that's just saying for this movie that makes sense. Yes, for that movie it makes sense, but it doesn't mean anything. That statement means nothing.
I'm not the one judging off of comic books, so I don't care about the comic book lore. I'm
not even judging it off of comics. I'm judging it based on the characters they built in the last 2 movies.
Yeah, and I'm saying she has a likeness for Scott and Wolverine, right? So I don't think her love to Scott was that strong for her not to kill him. Maybe it was, but I don't know. They'd portray it that much. If they would have portrayed her love over the top for Scott, then yeah, I would agree.
She sacrificed herself to save them both.
Yeah, not just them both, but the whole team.
Well, it was mostly for them.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
She gave her life. How much more do you need?
You're right. I got nothing. You're right.
This movie sucks.
I didn't hate this. I did not. I thought I would hate it, but I did not hate this movie.
Look, I'm just not saying the entire movie's bad. There's some good things in it, but the parts that are really bad are really bad.
I do agree with that. I think her story arc in this whole movie is really bad. It's like the weakest of the movie.
Like, honestly, I don't even have much of a problem with the whole Cure storyline.
No, not at all.
I have a few issues with it here and there.
Yeah.
But it's not as, like, insulting as the whole Dark Phoenix stuff.
I agree with that. I'll give you this. Her killing these people off leads to nothing later on. Like, there's no, like, it doesn't motivate them to do better. It doesn't teach anyone anything. She just kills them off and, oh, they're dead now. Okay. Like,
Yeah,
it just,
pointless.
the whole, her arc in this whole movie is pointless. I'll give you that. I hate it. I'm just trying to defend it because it's in here. I saw it. I was like, at the time, was like, this is really, but I don't know. Anyways, where was I? She kills him. Okay. Him dying makes the Force and everyone in the school like, oh, what happened? There's a disturbance in the Force. And Professor X like, we have to go to the water and find what happened. Black Lady Storm and Wolverine go to the alkaline lake.
And isn't that sad that those are the only X-Men?
Yeah, no, I hate that. And I get... I feel like it's good because it helps them but see, with them being the only X-Men, we get nothing from them. There's like no story arc with this two at all.
But there was what? Who was the X-Men in the first movie?
There was Colossus, the first one.
No, like when they went to the Statue of Liberty to save Rose. Who was it?
It was Scott, Jean, Wolverine. It was the base. All these guys, yeah.
Yeah, but now that they screwed up the characters so much, we got 2 X-Men left.
In a school full of X-Men.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, in a series they're notorious for rotating out characters left and right.
They have to recruit kids into the X-Men because they don't have anybody.
That's what I'm saying. They could have brought back Nightcrawler. They could have brought back anyone. I know.
They should have. Gambit should have been in this by now.
Yep.
There should have been a slew of X-Men characters.
They
should have been in this thing by now. But no.
So yes, Wolverine and Storm, the last 2 remaining X-Men proper, I guess, visit the lake. They see everything's floating. See Scott's glasses, but no Scott because he's dead.
Yeah.
And
why is everything floating?
Because Jean Grey is like powers and special effects are cool, guys. And they find Jean Grey's body. She's alive. They bring her back to the X-Mansion to do some tests. Xavier tells him...
I don't see nothing in her powers that says that, she can make gravity disappear.
Listen, man. Movie's got a movie. We bring back Jean Grey to the X-Mansion to get tested on, and this is the scene where Professor X explains, I'm a monster.
Oh, yeah, I didn't like this scene either.
No, I didn't either. And you're right, I hate this scene. But you could explain it.
Because he's like explaining to Wolverine that, he forcibly invaded her mind, violated her mind. And Wolverine's like, dude, that's messed up. And he's like, he shuts down the conversation and says, I don't need your opinion doesn't matter. You don't know nothing. Go away.
Yeah.
I mean, Logan's not like the most morally good person in these movies, but he's not wrong here, and it just made Professor look like an asshole.
He did, because he had no valid argument. So, f you, Wolverine, get out of here. Like, that's your argument, Professor X? That's your argument?
It's crap.
Yeah, that scene was like, oof, I don't like you, Professor. Not anymore. And see, like, I get why the Professor did it. But if he would have said some strong words, like, okay, you made your point valid. But no, you're the villain, Professor. Good job. After that, we cut to the Cure line. There's a line for the Cure, and there's protests going on because Cure is bad. Angel's going to be the first participant.
I don't want to get into it at all. I'm not going to argue it, and I don't even want to have a conversation, but I do want to point out that the whole Cure thing could be kind of, to today's problems that are going on with vaccines and stuff.
I agree. I thought the same thing when I saw it. I didn't also want to bring it up. And that's why I like this vaccine cure storyline way more than because it was just so relevant.
I don't want to get into it or anything like that. I don't want to.
Yeah, no, we don't have to
bring up. But we don't. I just wanted to point out that the correlation, how it works with today's stuff.
Yes. I was surprised too. Like, damn, this is really kind of on the nose right now. This is really weird. Anywho, Angel's the first participant in the vaccine study, trials, whatever, roll-out mandate, whatever you want to call it. He's getting strapped down to the thing because I don't know why they're strapping him down. Thinking about it, is he got like a violent reaction to it or something? They just want to have a cool shot of him breaking free of his restraints, visually and metaphorically. Flies out the window as a big symbolism of hope and freedom for the mutants. After all that, we get the cool Mystique gets broken out of the caravan scene. Breaks out Mystique and other mutants. Other mutants include Mr. Copy Pastes.
Multiple Man.
That's his name, Multiple Man. And also includes the great Juggernaut.
The worst Juggernaut I've ever seen.
Yeah, the costume's shitty. He's not that big.
Yeah, he's not big at all.
He's just a big muscle guy. That's it. And I think that's it who they break out, right? And Mystique, of course.
Yes.
Also in the scene, Mystique's talking to Magneto. Well, one of the prison guards is going to shoot the cure at Magneto, kill him, or they depower him. Mystique sacrifices herself. She's now a human, a Homo sapien, normal Homo sapien. And Magneto says, "F off, bitch, you're not one of us anymore," and walks away from her because he would do that.
Yeah, he would do that, but that's it. That's all you give Mystique. She was such a big part in all the other movies, and now she's just gone.
What do you do? Hold on. What do you do that though?
Magneto? Oh, yeah.
What? That's so... Why?
Because his mission's more important than her.
See, I thought they had more of a, like, not chemistry, but, like, a bond.
She's not her anymore. As far as she's concerned, Mystique is dead.
That's so I don't like that at all.
That's exactly what Magneto would do.
That's so shitty on his part. That's why I don't like him.
He only cares about one person.
Himself?
No. Literally, he only cares about one person.
Who?
We'll get to it later.
Charles?
Yep.
I guess. I don't know, man. That's mean. Anyways, what are you saying? Yeah, Mystique gets shafted in this. So they're using the cure to kill the cure. Like, why not use the cure in the first place on the Juggernaut and Mystique? Like, they have weaponized right now. Why not use it on them? They have the cure in their holsters, right? As weapon.
Who does?
The guards.
Yes.
Why not just use it on Mystique and the Juggernaut in the first place? Especially the Juggernaut. He's a big motherfucker. I would just...
Because at this point, it's voluntary and it's kind of like forcing...
But they're enemies of the state. They're terrorists. I would demutinize them as soon as I could.
Yeah, but even... They don't just execute terrorists.
They're still alive. You're just depowering them. They're not. You're taking away the threat. You're taking away their weapons from them.
That's kind of like saying, "All right, we have this thing that turns you white. We're taking away your skin color now." See my point?
Yeah, but skin color is not a weapon. The Juggernaut literally is the weapon. I would like, instead of just keeping him restrained, like this says momentum will make him bad and power him.
But it's not. It's
Mystique is dangerous. Like, these are like such notoriously dangerous.
They're powers, but that's also who you are. It's a violation.
It's a part of who you are. I'm not taking your sole purpose. That's why I don't like Magneto leaving Mystique. Like, that's not all who she is. It's part of her, but she's still Mystique. She's still whatever her name is.
Yeah, but now she's violated, and I
don't like that.
Yeah, but people do it, especially evil people, when who don't have a use for you anymore.
I know. But like, going back to my argument, like, just the power of them, make them less of a threat.
It's also like, from Magneto's point of view, this whole cure and being forced on him, he lived through Nazi Germany. He was a concentration camp thing, so this is personal for him.
I agree with that.
So it's like this war is more important than this one person. And now she can't help us, so she's useless.
It's awful. I don't know. But I still think they should have just shot them in the faces with a cure.
Yeah, but then if they do that, then that gives everybody free range to do it whenever they want. You know what I mean? Come across this mutant who's not doing anything that shows some power. Someone sees Beast in the street, you get scared, and they shoot him with the power gun, and now you got that situation on your hand.
Yeah. Is it bad, though? I'm kidding. I know it's terrible. That's bad.
But there's a real world comparison that we can make right here.
I know.
Very political.
Trust me, I know, but I'm saying notoriously known Mystique, who's a terrorist, and the Juggernaut. At least take his helmet on. Why is he still dressed in his Juggernaut outfit? Anything to depower their powerfulness, I would have done.
Well, he's still in his outfit because it probably took him forever to put that thing together.
It's dumb. Dumb. I don't know. If I'm transferring a terrible terrorist, I know it's humanitarian wrong. I get it, morally wrong. But in this world, I would have done it. That's just me, I guess.
Well, this is also a world that's trying to coexist with mutants, too.
Yeah, they're bad people. They're really bad people.
They're really bad humans, too.
Yeah. But there's like, you take a human's gun away. I think they're mutants. Like, I don't know. And I'm for mutant rights. Like I'm so far on the left on that side when it comes to this world. Like I wish I was a mutant.
So, I mean, like, seriously, what's to stop them from, like, just using this willy-nilly and taking their powers away and then
I'm just saying,
and killing them after they learn their powers?
No, I'm just saying in my argument for this, when you're transferring bad people like this, really bad, again, Mystique, she was in the Statue of Liberty doing some up shit. She was, wherever number 2 was at. She is such a notoriously mystique-y person.
Actually, I think she helped stop the bad guys in number 2. Weren't they on the good side, Magneto?
At first, until they wanted to switch over to kill all the humans. Remember that?
Yeah, sure.
Like, no, depower her. If not her, at least a big dude.
I don't know. It's as this movie says, it's a slippery slope.
It is slippery slope, and I agree. That's why I'm not a part of any of that.
Normally, slippery slopes, there's no coming back from it.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Because once there's precedent, that means it's free reign.
I hate that. I hate that. That's right. Anyways, after Mystique breaks free and she gets left behind, sadly, she just comes back in. That's the last we see of her too. There's no
she's back in one scene for 3 seconds.
Is she?
Yeah, they're like, how did we find all Magneto's space and stuff? And they point at a camera, and she's
no way.
Yeah.
No wonder they found it. Okay.
Yeah, and he said they were like pointing at the camera, and that she's signing a paper as her human self. And then the president uses the coin line, "Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned."
So, okay, how she know where they were?
I mean, she was probably involved in everything.
How the she get caught? What?
He's probably been set up there forever.
How the hell she get caught?
I don't know. They didn't show that scene.
Man, this movie is sometimes dumb. Anyways, Hank is meeting with the president about human rights. Oh, he's going to resign his position for a bit for some reason. I don't remember. Some shit happens. Logan and Jean Grey have an interaction. They kind of kiss. Jean Grey goes cray-cray on him and escapes, I think. Right? She escapes?
Who escapes?
Jean Grey, after kissing Logan.
Escapes from where? Oh,
she escapes. After that,
I don't know if they escape. She tries to have sex with him, and he's like, "No, what you do to Scott?" And then she throws him against the wall, and then she pretty much just walks out.
Yeah, I don't know where she goes after that.
She goes home.
Oh, that's right. She goes home. Okay, her childhood home. And then we got to Miss Magneto and the Brotherhood. They're having a conversation. They're going to get Jean Grey, and everyone has a reunion at Jean Grey's house. Magneto and the team, and
so
Charles
my first question before we even get into the scene is, did she kill her parents? Or does the people that live there at this point, or was the house abandoned?
I think it was someone's house. Because when the X-Men get there, people are standing in the street all freaked out. So I'm thinking she made a scene there, and the family living there either disintegrated or they left.
Yeah, because I just didn't understand why there was no one else in that house. Because we didn't. If her parents were still there, that would have been the scene we should have seen, right?
Anything, yeah, you would think so. But yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, people are staying in the streets freaked out.
And why are they in Bobby's house from the second movie?
Because it's cheaper, TJ. It's cheaper. Anyway, Gene...
And how come Stan Lee's not Stan... Oh, that was 20 years ago. He's dead. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Wow. I mean, he's dead IRL. R.I.P. legend.
So go ahead.
You don't want to talk about this cool scene where Magneto and Charles are talking to Jean again? Magneto's trying to, push Charles away and, triangle. And it's a big scene that happens. A rumble happens outside, breaks into the house. They all destroy the house. And... Jean.
No, because they kill off one of their biggest stars.
I know.
One of the best actors here.
Hey, man.
And granted, he's trying to forcefully push himself into her mind.
Yeah, there's a big mental battle going on. It's awesome.
She's saying stop. But no, they decide to make Professor Xavier pretty much abusive monster, and then have him disintegrated by a psychopathic character that abused psychopathic character.
You know what I don't want? I think
and turned her from a pretty much an abused person into a bad guy. Yeah,
I don't think you like strong women, TJ. You're a sexist. I must say it right now.
Yeah, because that whole sentence I said was completely sexist and not completely against everything that they just said.
I know, you, man.
They're not villainizing the whole the abused woman at all here. Whatever.
No, you're right. After Xavier dies and Jean's saved by Magneto, there's a big sad scene. It's a big funeral because they have time for this, I guess, and some speeches and. Bobby wins over Katie Pryde some more by having an ice skating scene because again they have time for this shit instead of fleshing out characters.
Because because they needed Rogue to see it so she can go and get the cure.
Exactly, that's what happens. Rogue sees it, gets even more jealous. That's it. Deuces. Her and Logan have a moment. Logan has a good moment. He says, I'm not your father, I'm your friend. So do what you think is right, but think about what you're doing for the most part. So after Xavier's death and all that shit, and everyone pushed away in their own directions, we get to the scene where Jean Grey and Magneto are talking at the Brotherhood camp. Magneto defends Charles as Mr. Fireball talks shit on Charles.
And this was a good scene.
Very good scene.
This is what I mean. It's like Charles is the only person he really cares about. He's like, don't disrespect Charles. He's done more for mutants than you will ever do. And the only thing that I regret is that he had to die for this to happen.
Yeah. And it's sad. So we go back to the X-Mansion, and it's going to close because there's no professor there to run the X-Mansion, apparently, to pay the bills and etc. Storm's like, nah, bitches, I got this. I'll take over because that's what he said he would want me to do. Tell the kids it's not closed. Angel shows up because he wants to be there for safekeeping. I was looking for Rogue. Wolverine goes to Xavier's memorial and is sad. Bobby's at the clinic. Bobby's at the vaccine clinic looking for Rogue. He meets up. He's encountered with Fireboy. Bobby and him have a interaction. Bobby walks away from a fight they could have had. Fireboy sets the place on fire. Fireboy blows up the clinic as a terrorist attack. We cut to Magneto on Fox News, nonetheless, laying out some threats. The government sees this, they're afraid, so they take control. The government takes control of the vaccine mandates, and they militarize everything. After everything's militarized, Wolverine sneaks into Brotherhood camp and beats some ass. Wolverine sees Magneto talking some bullshit. Revolution, we're going to go march.
Why does Wolverine always go after Magneto when he knows he can't get near him?
I guess it goes to a storyline like, you'll never learn anything, Wolverine, do you? And he kind of does later on. So Magneto kicks Wolverine's ass again. And then nighttime happens. Okay, this is the scene you're saying Mystique points out in Magneto's whereabouts. The military goes to get onto the camp, and guess what? It's just Multiply, dude. Wolverine's back at the X-Mansion. He gathers the team. They're going to San Francisco to the cure. So we get to the march on, what's this, Golden Gate Bridge of the Brotherhood and Magneto.
Hey, they're in California now.
Yeah, they are. Magneto shows his immense power and lifts the whole bridge up because he's a god. He moves the bridge from one side of the bay to connect with Staten Island. I thought that was in New York City. That's in California? What? Staten Island?
Staten Island is in New York City.
Alcatraz.
There's just Alcatraz is in San Francisco.
That's the island. Okay, I'm sorry. I said the wrong one.
Staten Island is where one of the cure centers is. And they blew that up as the pyro blew it up.
Oh, okay. So I was saying the right one. So now they're on Alcatraz. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. So they're on Alcatraz now. And for some reason, they wait until nighttime to approach the facility. It was a big fight, people. Some shit happens. I'm the Juggernaut bitch. We're getting the kid. A lot of people die. The battles are stupid and long. Wolverine ends up killing Jean Grey because he's...
What do you mean? This is the part where they make their last stand.
It's so dumb. Wolverine ends up... Magneto gets the power to throw out this...
Although the whole bridge thing was cool.
Yeah, I know. Really cool. Magneto loses his powers because he gets hit with shit from Wolverine.
You just skipped over, like,
what do you want to talk about? This is just dumb action.
A whole fight scene. Kitty Pryde running through the walls, running from the Juggernaut and
bitch.
stuff.
What else you want to talk about? It's all pointless. I just...
Pyro and Iceman fighting it out like Street Fighter characters or Dragon Ball Z characters.
Yep. Iceman wins. The good guys win everything, guys.
Wolverine slaughtering people left and right.
Storm does jack shit.
Then when it's just Magneto left and, they have to team up together and it comes all back from the beginning where, Wolverine says Storm's lying and Storm says Wolverine's lying because, good storytelling.
Arguably they have the strongest mutant besides Jean Grey, who's Storm, and she doesn't do anything. She makes it misty a little bit.
Well, she does more than Jean that just stands still for the last half hour of the movie.
A waste of strong female characters. I'm not even being like in a feminist way. Like, what a waste of strong two characters. Like, seriously.
They literally did nothing. No, why didn't Storm doesn't do nothing? Because they don't know how to use anything but her electric powers. They have no imagination whatsoever to use their powers. She controls
the weather. Like, the weather.
She can create sleet, rain, she can freeze it, she can do 1,000 things she can do with it.
Tornadoes, earthquakes probably, anything.
Tsunamis,
literally.
Waves, wiped out the entire bridge.
Yep. And again, Jean Grey could have done anything. Like, what a waste of good characters. No, it's just throw Wolverine at people. because no.
Not only Wolverine, they focus on Wolverine slaughtering people, and they do focus on Beast beating up some people, but they have Colossus over there. They show him punching one guy,
dumb.
and he's made of steel. He could throw half those guys. He could run through walls like Juggernaut. He could probably take the Juggernaut. Why didn't they have that scene? The Juggernaut trying to run into Colossus and him trying to stop that.
They say that for the Deadpool movies.
Yeah, well,
this is dumb. This is really dumb.
They could have had that scene there. Kitty Pryde literally takes down one guy before she has to go run in. And that's it. That's her. Her whole thing is running through walls. They completely waste her character.
Oh, shit. How stupid. Like you said, there's like only 6 X-Men here. So, like, what are they doing?
And the bad guys only have, 3 or 4 named characters? All the rest of them are no-name Bobo characters that just get beat up and killed.
Yep, just red shirts running at each other.
Uh-huh.
The military's there doing nothing besides just doing military
They're there to be killed. That's all they're there for. If they're not being blown up by fire cars thrown by Benigno and Pyro, they're getting disintegrated by Jean Grey.
So stupid. This whole thing is dumb. Then Wolverine kills Jean Grey. It was just like, that's it. That's the climax. He just walks up to her and stabs her.
Well, no. See, they depower Magneto and win the day. And then Wolverine's like, it's over. We can go home now. And then all the military come in and it up like they always do and try to shoot Green Jay, whatever her name is, Jean Grey. Yeah. And then she turns psychopathic because, that's who she is. She's just an insane person. You can't just focus on reason. She's just going to disintegrate everything now. And so Wolverine's like, I'm the only one that can stop her because he's literally the only one that can survive the disintegration because of his healing factor. Although I'm not sure that I buy that. He should be a steel skeleton by the time he walks up there.
He should be torn apart.
But whatever. And why does he still have pants on? I don't want to see Hugh Jackman naked, but the disintegration took the rest of his clothing, but not his pants. That doesn't make any sense either. Stupid. I know. And then he goes up, and they have time to look at each other and have final words because that's how that works. And then she says, save me. He says, I love you. And then he stabs her with her claws and kills her because we needed a third death in this.
Yep. And then it's a happy ending for everybody because now all 3 of them are buried together. Rogue's back home. She didn't get the cure.
How's that a happy ending? They're dead.
They're still together in eternity. Rogue's back home. Didn't get the cure.
Now, why does Professor Xavier get
the biggest one?
Because he's not the biggest. Not the biggest one. That's fine. But why does he get a tombstone with his face on it, and the other 2 only get X's?
Because of the budget, man. All about the budget. They thought he'd be the only one to die, but those 2 died too. Like, shit. Although Scott did die first. I don't know.
And Kitty Pryde saves because they're all there to kill the kid who is suppressing the powers.
Leech, he joins the school. I think he'd be beat up all the time in school because no one wants to I don't know. I think the kids.
I don't think he'd beat up. How would he be beat up at school? No one can touch him. Yet they have no power.
They still throw fists.
I kind of think, if anything, he could be a bully. What are you gonna do?
Think no one would like him because of that reason. I don't know. I think
or he would have a bunch of followers and he'd be the leader of
the clique.
Yeah, and they'll be like, "You want your powers? Then guess what? Give me your lunch money."
Oh, what'd your mom pack you for lunch today? It's ours now. Thanks. Oh shit. Wolverine Hank joins. He's an ambassador for America. Wolverine's happy ending for everybody.
Enjoy the United Nations.
That's what it is. And we cut to Magneto. He's an old man playing chess by himself, and he can kind of move metal again because the cure doesn't last long, guys.
Because this whole movie's pointless, is what you're telling me. Yes, it is. The whole storyline's broken because the cure doesn't last forever.
They need booster shots, TJ.
What you mean?
See, this is so relevant for nowadays. Great. Anyways, all that shit's stupid. This credits roll. Halfway through the credits, the coma guy from earlier, no one remembers, has this hey, it's me, Charles Xavier moment. Cool.
He's in a different body. Yeah. He switched consciousness, but he's in a different body. Why does he sound like Patrick Stewart when he's got different vocal cords?
I think because he was mentally transmitting it to the girl. Who's the lady?
Dr. Moira Haggard, I think.
Where's she from?
She's kind of a love interest for Professor Xavier in
What are the odds?
Comics.
What are the odds? That's just so weird to me. Anyways, yeah.
Well, I also think that I don't know where I read it, but I think the unconscious person is supposed to be Xavier's brain dead twin brother,
Stop.
which I don't think is a
I
comic
think
thing.
you're right. Though I saw that too. You're right. You're right.
So maybe it's because that's where his family is. Same brainwaves or whatever. I don't know. This movie sucked.
It sucked. It was fine up until the ending, like the third act. Like this gets really stupid, guys. Really dumb.
It was not fine up until the
I
third
think so.
act.
It was bearable up to the third act, in my opinion.
It was half shit and half okay.
It was adequately kind of there.
It was half shit and half okay. It just became complete shit when it came to the next act.
Yes. That's X-Men's Last Stand.
But that means 3/4 of it was shit.
3/4 of it? I think the first act
half and half.
Yeah.
Half and half. It was half and half. So if half and half of the first two acts were shit,
yeah, you're right. No, it's 2/3. Yeah, 2/3.
2/3 of it was shit, which means it's a shitty movie.
Majority shit. There's things that are okay. This is what I, Marcus, liked about X-Men Last Stand. I like the visuals. Visually, it's there.
Yeah,
I like
it was pretty.
The action. The action was pretty good until the last fight scene. That was just was stupid.
See, the action was okay, but they were. If you look at what they're doing, they're all doing the same things over and over and over again. There's no variation or imagination into any.
I'll give you that. The acting, great. Well, the character development, lacking, not there.
Non-existent.
The motivations are non-existent.
Or just insulting.
Yeah. The stories are stupid.
The story is
the Dark
shit.
Phoenix is stupid. The cure was weak. Could have been something good.
See, no, the problem is the idea of it is good.
Yes.
The whole basis of the story was fine, and it's a great story. And when you have it, it's hard to make it bad, but they still didn't execute it well.
They didn't.
So it was shit.
So what are you, TJ, giving this shit movie?
Oh, no. I want to know what you're giving it.
I don't know. I'm stuck. Because when I first saw it, I was going to give it a 5. Like, it's okay. It's right in the middle. Talk myself down. It's not a 5. I might be more lenient and more forgiving than you. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. Or 4 out of 10.
Yeah, because I'm at a 3.
Yeah, I can see that. You just do not like this at all, huh?
No. It was too insulting. Not only as a comic fan, but just as a story in general, and as a fan of the first two movies. It's just insulting all around. They can't even stick to their own goddamn continuity and storyline.
See, that's the thing with the X-Men universe now. Like, this is the beginning of what the problem is with those movies. Is continuity, overarching continuity lacks in these movies. I'm not saying that's a plus to this movie. I'm saying that's going to be a big problem for the rest of these movies.
But it's like there's a good one, there's a bad one, there's a good one, there's a bad one, there's a good one, there's a bad one.
Which is not a good thing to have for a series.
I know, but it's strange how that happens. I still think this might be the worst one, though. Like I said to you, I don't know if I said it on screen. I both thought this movie was better and way worse than I remember.
I'll give you that. I think I have my nostalgia push me towards a 4. Also, like this is like the last time we'll see all these characters until Days of Future Past, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's like this is nice seeing these good actors do this. So I don't know. I get why you're a 3. I think if I guess I saw this also in a cheery mood. If I saw this tired of everything about this movie,
I'm at a 3 because it's
bad.
X-Men 3.
And on that note,
I'm done talking to these idiots.
Go suck some eggs, guys.